What? Hello? Hi there. I didn't expect you so late. Here we are. Today is Sunday, I think, and I'm doing stuff. Here we go. Are you ready for? We're gonna have so many great adventures today, guys. It's gonna be great. Non-stop action and adventure as soon as I can find my mouse. There it is. Okay. Welcome. I've been sitting at this spot on my couch for, let's see, what time is it now? It's 1:30. About 20 hours. Yes, because I cleaned the art studio yesterday, and after that I came in and I started sculpting, editing, and foam carving. Oh my gosh, you guys got to see this. Look at what I've done. So I used this machine here to make all of those. Those are for my backdrop for my Shadow of Colossus and whatever it's called. It's not trade shows, conventions. My convention booths, which I will hopefully have many of in the coming years. Whew. Okay. Yeah, and I got caught up doing video editing, and you know, I've been off for 8 or 9 days, and even on a normal weekend, I'll usually get in the habit of being up till 3 a.m. But yeah, once it goes past several days, I am up pretty much all night. Naturally, I try to make myself go to bed, which kind of sometimes works, but not always. And last night I was getting a lot done, really excited about what I was doing on this ridiculous video that no one's going to watch. But it's one of those kind of on my lifetime to-do list. I was putting together the video for, what is this? Putting together the video for, which it didn't really need any video whatsoever. It was literally just, hey, put the songs from the CD from the band that I started in high school, and just have that on YouTube because it's going to be nice to have. And I got caught up in like adding all sorts of supplemental materials and special effects, and like it was ridiculous. It was so stupid what I was doing. I mean, I'm going to be glad that I did it. Sorry, Zbrush is being such a butthead. It just doesn't want to go to a place and stay there. Here we go. Okay. Let's look at some crabs, you guys. Let's get crabby. Let's put these little guys down here where I can see them. Hey Kenzo, what's going on, man? I did have a good Christmas, thank you. Yourself? And hello Aletha as well.
Hey Aletha.
Heather says hey. Oh no, Sneck went to Sneck Heaven. Man, that Sneck lasted a long time for being a corn snake. I had no idea. It had to have been over 10 years old, right? Kenzo is currently 3D printing a Frostborn Sward. That's cool. What's a Frostborn? Precious. What's a Frostborn? Let's find out. Frostborn Sword. I see a Frost Morn. Is that what you meant? Looks like you can buy one on Amazon for a mere $270. Free shipping. Letha says, the internet says they can live around 20 years in captivity. Huh. Who would have guessed it? She was not doing well the past few months, so I knew it was coming. Well, as far as Sneck lives go, I think she probably lived a pretty good one. Alright, so one of the challenges that I'm having with building this guy is that I'm building him with both legs that can go in and legs that can fold up into his defensive posture, which means I'm pushing the limits of what I can do with both radial symmetry and subtool management. But that's good. It's good to push limits. I'm not quite sure I'm happy how spiny these are right now. They look almost too, mechanical is not the right word, but maybe it is what I mean. Maybe I just need to like muss up these things a little bit, like go in with the move tool, just do a little, you know. Yeah, that might really be all it needs. I think it got, because when I was posing it, it got stretched out so much, I think it just got those like very straight lines, and that's not something you tend to see in nature. Also, there's going to be all sorts of like plants and stuff inside the nooks and crannies, the chinks in the armor, as it were. Letha says, that critter looks really interesting. I read your thing sent through Patreon. I think it's a good idea to have a couple super alien things, but not too many. Yes, exactly. Just enough for contrast. And play off the humans and human-like creatures. So they're always off their footing a little bit, trying to figure out what these darn things want and mean when they communicate with them. I'm gonna do an interview today for Yeah Dude Gamers podcast. Oh, that's cool. That makes sense. Okay. Arms. That's what I gotta figure out next. So the way I've done all the other parts so far, it seems to be working pretty well, as I start with this cylinder. I make it into an arm length cylinder. I dynamesh it at pretty low resolution. Huh, could have been lower. 32. That's better. Okay. And then I look at crab legs and I'm like, wow, It sure does look like a tube, like slightly tapered. It's really boring. So these crabs, also their forearms are still pretty plain. One thing I started to look for was mantis shrimp, and here it is. They're kind of hard to make out because so many of the pictures are the peacock ones, which are just crazy colors. I'm trying to see if I could find a close-up on some of their legs. No, well, that is a painting. That does not count. Here we go. Okay, some nice close-ups here. Wow, that is very much a mantis claw. That is shocking how much that is exactly what a mantis arm looks like. Now, why can't they get a closer upper on that? Ben Morta, subscribe for the 7th month in a row. Woo! 7 is a good number, or so I've been told. See, this says it's 1800 by whatever. I'm gonna, let's see, save image as, put it in my crab folder. Art reference, animal, underwater crab. Okay. Now let's open this guy up. And is it as big as it claims to be? Yes. There we go. There's that delicious resolution I was looking for. Okay. So yeah, these secondary limbs are, yeah, really tube-like. But these are definitely more interesting. You know, where clearly the carapace has evolved so that it can go into different poses. You know, it needs to get its arm back enough to do its little super punch, that kind of stuff. Oh, this is great. This has got all sorts of great textures. These textures here are what I was going for with the arms that he's got so far. You can kind of see I was going something along those lines there. Freaky Deek, hey, you caught me on Twitch. Congratulations. Thanks for catching me. Oh, speaking of people catching me, let's see how fast I can crank through this list. Okay, you guys, you ready for this? If you have subscribed within the last 3 days, get ready. Your name is coming, and it's going to be perfect. Okay. Ho Umi, Adia Das, whatever you say, 321, Gilbert, G-Max, Sarah, Cavalcante, Christina Jones, Logan, Coggins, Pat Mendez, Bam Tram, Razor, Jing Ming, Killin Lefure, Litzel, No Bueno Lori, Loco Mallory, Niku Spurira, Blaine Wood, Brandon Wells, Shane McBurney, Ram Asu, Juan Bacamonte, Simon Macomber, Christina Militic, Pablo Ramos Sanchez, Randy Newberger. I could go for a new burger. Heather Ferguson 347. Amadeus. Ryan, and that's because there were 4 A's there. Ryan Lewis, Daryl Murray, Marine Little, and Cogwhistle on the Twitch. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for following. Hope you enjoy the show. It's going to be a good one today because I'm loopy because I'm tired. Okay, so here's what these legs look like folded up. Let's look at them unfolded, shall we? Boop. Boop. Oh, I didn't quite do that right. There we go. And boop. No. Boop. No. I could do this. Maybe I can't do this. There we go. Okay. Yes. So these guys have quite a range. I'm slightly concerned that the size of these legs is too much tension to apply to an arm that thin. On the other hand, it is underwater. And on the other hand, we don't know how dense or thick this plating is. It looks very thick. Like this looks kind of like a Monster Hunter creature as far as how unrealistic it is in that regard. Freaky Deek says, started sculpting almost 2 years ago. You were the first I watched to learn, so it's because of you that I still love that craft. Awesome, man. I'm very glad you joined me. Or I should say, awesome folk, awesome sir or madam or anywhere in between. Awesome. I'm gonna quit while I'm just this far behind. All right, let's make an arm. So I want to make it not just a tube. I don't know what it's gonna be, but it's gonna not just be a tube. Okay. Also, turn on symmetry. Okay. So this is what most crab. What's this part of your arm called? It's in like on a leg. That's your thigh. On an arm, this is your forearm. What is this?
Bicep?
This whole part of your arm. What is that tube called?
Upper arm.
Upper arm. That's dumb.
I don't know.
If you have a forearm, it should be your hind arm. And Mortis says, I can't even fold paper without messing up. Looks like the Karka. She's been lifting. Ah, crap. Let me look at the Karka. I remember doing this when we were first designing this creature, and I did a whole stream where I was, well, not the whole stream, but a large portion of it was looking up other crab creatures that exist and trying to avoid those. Karka Guild Wars 2. Yeah, last thing I want to do is have my personal world I've been developing for 20 years copy the company I work at. Okay, yes, they definitely have big shield legs like I'm doing, don't they? So one, I guess, significant difference is the legs coming out the top. Come on, is there no arch? Yeah, I worked on this map. Oh my gosh. Why do you make it so hard? Yes, I am unhappy with how similar that shape of the leg is. Mine definitely come out more, but they do kind of come up into a peak like that. I believe the Karka also fold up and roll around like a cylinder on the ground. My guy doesn't do the rolling part, but he does hunker down. But that's just kind of a crustacean thing to do, so. Lebowski says we're all dudes, man. He's a dude, she's a dude, we all a dude. Yes, mine has one more leg, so it is 1/5 better than a Guild Wars Karka. Betting it's too much to ask to have a Karka rolled up. I could just open the model at work and look at it when I get back to work. Anyways, it's fine. It's fine. What was I doing? I was working on an arm. Yes, this is a crab dude. Exactly, Freaky Deek. I've been working on this world for about 2 decades now. Very slowly world building it, making books with it right now, and eventually hope to end up making, you know, like a Game of Thrones kind of TV show, and you know, maybe video games and movies, whatever. Just want to develop my own IP, something that I just love world building, so it makes sense to me to do that sort of thing as my kind of bucket list, big dream goal. Fact, I should take that as a prompt. Been trying to learn to capitalize on prompts. Here's my website, breathoflifedev.com, and Tales from Telefar. You can go to the sentient species there, and here's all the current ones. Not all of them, most of them. Some of them I haven't developed yet, so this is the one I'm developing now. As you can see, it has no portrait because I haven't designed them yet. That's what I'm doing now. I need to fill those in, but I have done a lot of just their basic design, you know, their stats, their history, their social structures, where they fit into the culture and ecology of the world. So it's all there for anyone's perusal who wants to peruse it. Give me feedback. I'm always looking for feedback, because one of the quirky things I'm doing with my world is I'm trying to make everything scientifically plausible. And since I can't know all the science in the world, there's no way I can do that without help from people who know more specific sciences than I do. Is this a cool thing? I don't know. Might be a cool thing. Yeah, Freaky Deek, I do way too many things. So many things. So many things. Make video games for a living. I do YouTube tutorials. I've been working on on a video game, critique video series, the art form, not specific video games. I don't think working in the game industry, it makes a lot of sense to critique games, specific games. What else am I doing? Obviously, developing this whole world thing. Etc., etc. I do a lot of things. So anyone can be forgiven for not realizing all the things I do. Okay, now I feel like we're getting somewhere. Now we're making something that feels like a thing, as opposed to a tube. I think this is going to be the ball joint. That's one thing I've noticed on a lot of crabs is where their arms hook up to their bodies. It's very much like an action figure ball joint, which means that if I make a sculpture of these guys, I'll definitely want to make them posable. In fact, it's probably a good idea to just kind of signal where that ball's gonna be on all the joints. Okay, now this is just kind of an unpleasant shape. Play with that a little bit. Freaky Deek is asking, what is the most distinguishing difference between physical sculpting and digital sculpting for you? Well, digital is way, way, way faster. There's something about the ergonomics of just kind of sitting in one position the whole time that, I don't know, I like being in my studio and moving around to grab my different tools and getting up to get my sandpaper and bending over to get, you know, it's just like there's so much more physicality involved with real sculpting. Not real sculpting, physical sculpting. Digital sculpting is definitely real sculpting. Yeah, so if I do a lot of digital and not and I haven't done physical sculpting in a while, I kind of get antsy, kind of miss it. Feel like I need to get in the garage. I mean, art studio. The professional art studio. Hi Stevie, how you doing? I feel like if this kind of overlapping knot kind of looking thing is going to be a thing. I'm probably going to want to introduce that element in the other limbs as well. Don't know if I want it yet or not, but I'm kind of enjoying what it's given me. Trying to take the time to make sure that I have the forms in a place that I'm really happy with before I develop it further. Have more of a feeling I have done Esith when doing practical stuff. Esith, eh? This is annoying. Let's see. Zbrush has these really random, the scale in Zbrush, I never, in the decade that I've been using the program, I've never felt like I had a sense of what the scale of the thing was. Like sometimes the tool will just randomly be like, oh sorry, I can't get any bigger than that. I'm like, oh, I guess this thing is massive. Why is it massive? I don't know. I didn't start it any different than the other stuff, but yeah, getting a little bit of flow, a little S-curve to it definitely helps. Something. Oh, okay. I feel like you've done something when doing practical stuff. Is STH what all the hip young teens are using for a shorthand for something? Now that I'm in my middle age, I'm legally not allowed to know what the kids are doing. It's funny, I was on a forum and all these people in their 60s were trying to figure out what it meant when someone says that another person is hot. They weren't sure if it meant like, oh, I have sexual urges when I see that person, and that's why I described them as hot. I was like, I mean, not for my generation. Just meant, you know, they're attractive, they're good looking. Like, I guess it would be weird to say, you know, my sister or my brother is hot. I guess? I don't know. If I had a hot sister, I don't know that I would have a problem saying that. But I could see how some people might. Freaky Deek says, we had that at school back then as short form, but I am not much younger than you. Oh, I want to count on that. I am not exaggerating when I say that I am middle-aged. Is this actually a place where the shell... So, shells are interesting. Crab shells. Look at this guy, for instance. Like, what are these? What are these? Like, they're not cracks. Do they allow him to be a little more flexible? Well, okay, so for instance, I know when crabs molt, you know, when they need to grow bigger, they're growing their softer new shell underneath, and then they crack out and they kind of come out of the side, so it like cracks open right around this area. So maybe it has something to do with that. And then they come out and they're all soft and floppy for a couple days until they can grow during those couple days, and then the new shell hardens after they've done that growth, or during that growth, I guess. Letha says 11,346 pages this month. We'll see what the total is tomorrow, but I'm pretty excited about that mini. When you publish your books, you can be all, well, I got 111,346 pages this month. What now? That's right, that's what I'll do. And then I'll be all like, I'm so much better than you. Why do I even waste my time with that plebeian? It's funny, I literally made a joke about that the other day when I was filming my video that's coming out tomorrow? Day after tomorrow. Coming out on the 1st. I made a joke about being too good for people because I got to do an album cover. Yeah, see, this is looking too much like jewelry now when it's got that very clear kind of chain link thing going on. I wonder if let's give it a little contiguous ridge. And Mortis says, better write some more. Book some small hippie bookstore for book signings. I'm not looking forward to trying to do book signings. I just can't even imagine. Just like, why would anyone want an indie author to sign their book? I've been to a really successful signing before for Guild Wars 2, where they sent a bunch of us out to GameStops all around the country. So I got to go to Florida, visited some friends, went to Universal Studio and drank butterbeer at Hogwarts, and, you know, so that was a good trip. If book signings were like that, I'd be all about it. Letha says, I was asked to do a book signing at a place this May, but I don't really want to do very many. They are a lot of stress. Yeah, I mean, you know, especially if you kind of have anxiety to begin with. I don't have much of that, so for me, it would just be like awkward. I'd feel like, boy, I sure am wasting everyone's time. And well, I guess like little independent bookstores obviously are not super busy, so I guess I wouldn't really be wasting anyone's time. But I guess I would just feel foolish. Like, I don't know. Do you feel that way when you go to those little shops? Like, how many? What's the most amount of people that you've ever had ask you to sign books? It is awkward, yes. At first I was excited about doing book signings, but then nobody showed up, so I stopped bothering. Poor me, woe is me. Yeah, like, I could see 99% of professional authors getting no one showing up for them. I don't see how there's a market for that. Like, Harry Potter woman, Stephen King, those are literally the only two, like, genre fiction writers I know that would get probably Brandon Sanderson, maybe still R.A. Salvatore. Is he still alive and kicking, making stuff? Like, who wrote Maze Runner? That's a pretty good book that, like, it was turned into a movie. I'm sure people who are into books know who wrote it, but, like, I'll bet that person shows up at a bookstore and has, like, 3 people show up for a signature. That's my bet. Probably a lot more if they did signings at conventions, where you've got a lot more chance of having a demographic who's interested in your kind of work there. Freak Deek, all right, good night. Thanks for stopping by. Oh, interesting. So I scaled it down, and now I've got to turn my resolution way up. Oh. Oh, now I'm starting to put some things together. Because that's another thing. When I Dynamesh, I never know what number to set it to. It never seems consistent. So it must have to do with the scale. This is the sort of thing that you should not be learning after using a tool for a decade, you know? But, I mean, it's not like I used it every day. There were probably several year periods here and there where I didn't use it once. So I can't really claim to be a decade-long user, but I definitely started using it shortly after it came out, and I think that was like 2004 or something. Letha says, Felicia Day has lines out the door and down the street when she did a book signing at that popular bookstore in Portland. Oh, okay. That's good to know. Letha says, I think people will be interested in your books, Josh, since you already get extra cool points for being a dev at ArenaNet. Yeah, we'll see. I'm definitely gonna need a person or two on the Guild Wars 2, whatever it's called. What is that called? Not Wiki. Reddit. That's where I tend to get the most traction, is when people post links to my work on Reddit. But I mean, there's a lot of authors. I have a lot of coworkers who are authors, and working on ArenaNet doesn't seem to help them much. You know, almost every writer at ArenaNet has their own novels. That's looking like something. Let's look at some of our other guys. Let's see if anything stands out as being ridiculous or wrong. Man, it's such a challenge to try to filter out the color and the texture just to see the shapes underneath. But yeah, I think I mean, if anything, this shape is a little too extravagant. So like once texture and color goes over it, might be too much, but we'll see. So let's try some of the texture technique I was doing on the other guy. Okay, always got open bridge. Sure. I don't know what any of this means. Oh my gosh. Will you just open, please? There we go. Ah. BM Fungus 01 was what I was having fun with. You want a lobster now? As a pet or to eat? Whoa. Okay, let's not do that. I want to give it a little more resolution first. Oh, to eat. I don't understand eating shellfish. Just don't get it. I mean, they're pretty much giant cockroaches. I don't know if I want these lines to go along with or to kind of be their own directional thing like this.
This friend from college, they came home from church and the tumbleweeds are like
Got a tumbleweed Christmas tree.
like blocks the entire house.
Yeah, I'm now stuck with a mouse the snake didn't eat, as it is, lol, I have enough pets. Oh, you got a toy for the kitties. Should do a Hunger Games with the mouse. Broiled lobster dipped in butter is delicious. Oh, I'm sure it is delicious. I can't get over what it, like, if it was in chunks and I didn't know what it was and I couldn't smell it, I would probably like it fine.
Were you talking about the new Black Mirror being interactive?
No.
Oh, because a friend just said that. You were talking about
I was talking about Bandersnatch is an interactive show on Netflix
How
right
does
now.
it become you have to select.
Apparently.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's probably a stupid gimmick that won't last very long, but
Probably be
check
really
it out.
expensive. If the choices were animated, maybe faster. Like, how could they? If it's interactive, I assume that means they would have to film like multiple.
Yeah, it's just like writing a choose your own adventure book, except you're filming
Yeah.
all the choices. At least that's my assumption. I have
But
yet to actually
you
do
would-
it, so
But that seems like, I mean, that's a lot of overhead.
yeah. There were cockroaches for sale at the pet store yesterday. Oh, you should have bought those and broiled them and dipped them in butter.
Aren't those for like the dragons. Canina dragons? What are those called? Like those pet, the whatever dragons.
Lizards? Bearded dragons?
Bearded dragons, yeah. They eat cockroaches.
Probably.
And this is their backyard. Like tumbleweeds everywhere. It's hilarious. It's like if they were an alien species, that neighborhood's screwed. They're under attack.
Oh, come on. I had this saved before. Tales of Travel, Creature Design, Shlak. Okay, so this is... Oh, looks like I started an arm already. Okay, we'll call this arm 2. Let's see what arm 1 is showing. Oh, yeah, okay. That started one. Hey, Sigrid. Wait, did I already say hi to you? I don't want to accidentally say hi twice. That would be awful. Oh yeah, I had this thing where I was doing this kind of bumpy texture on the bottom, which I kind of like. Okay, well, let's see if using these 2 arm pieces I have, if I can now compose cool arm for grab people, grab people. Oh, can't do that until I do this, and I say brush. Create, insert mesh brush, new, boom, okay, now go to this one, brush, create insert, append, skip. Alright, now we go back to Mr. Shlak. How's it going today, Sigrid? Got any big plans for New Year's? I am going skydiving with my youngest son, Shane. Indoor skydiving. Which is scary enough, I think. Basically, you just get to hover over a big fan in a tube. Yeah, my friend won it at work in a raffle, and so he sold me the tickets for a good discount. Something I was always kind of curious about. Figure Shane would definitely like it, so. Okay, so what happens if I move you? Actually get it in the socket and rotate it in the socket, because that would be super cool. Oh, what? Why did you do that? rotate this. Will you rotate? You will! Yay! Hooray! And there was much rejoicing. Yay! Okay, let's get our legs together. Let's see, this is feet down. Okay, so need to name these so I can. Fact. Ooh, there's a thing to do that I almost know how to do. So let me see if I can figure this out. First I'll rename these. So this is, oh, feet down. Yes, go away. Why will you not go away? Okay. This is feet up. That's not what I said. Sigrid says, it goes well, planning to start business. It takes time and costs energy. Everything ready for New Year. We are going down to my little brother and his family for New Year's. Cool, cool. Yeah, starting a business is crazy. Okay, so this is forearm up. We're just gonna say up is short for curled up. 5.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5. It's just like
down. Okay. So here's what I should be able to do. I should be able to take all my up stuff. I'm gonna put it together. Doop, doop. Okay. Up, up, up. And then I start here. And then start here. Oh, need to rename this forearm down. Okay, so my understanding is that this little start arrow, when you do that, it groups the stuff underneath it. So if I hit the eyeball here, it hides all that stuff. Now I want to keep the, whoa, what just happened? Uh-oh. There's a mess under there. Well, okay, so if I turn this on, this is the down, so it should automatically make those guys visible at the same time, but it is not. Yeah, so turning that off should also turn these things under it off, I thought. Maybe, okay, let's go to the torso. Now if I click it off, okay, yes. So if I don't have one of those tools selected, hit the eyeball, they all turn on. All turn off, on, off. Okay, great. So now with simply 2 clicks, I can see what he looks like up and down. So he's got his little arms here. Let's see if they poke out of his shell. Right. It does look like they do. Though I need them to be able to, need them to, oh, there we go, okay. Because he needs to be able to fend off sharks and stuff that are trying to bite his head off. Octopi, whatever's trying to kill him. He needs to be able to get his claws up here, and although, let's see, this is just his upper arm, so it's possible that once I get his forearm on there, he'll be able to do this, and then that's what I'm thinking. Sigrid says it's called Nature. Translated is nature. Shampoo, creams, and more. All natural without any condiments and artificial perfume, and some healing with courses, meditation, and such. It will be a small shop where you can buy Dreamcatcher, Buddha, Crystal, etc. It becomes an extension of Bodyfly Healing. Alright, all natural crystallic healing.
Rebecca
It works in video games. I don't know why it shouldn't work in the real world.
Rebecca would be.
Okay, so I need to cut this guy off. Let's hide this. And then I got split mask points. Boink. Okay, then I'm gonna rename this arm upper. And then attach to arm upper. I'm gonna.
This is why I want a fox.
That's a cute fox.
That is so dumb.
Oh, that's a dumb thing that just happened. Okay, let's go to clay buildup. And now back to insert mesh. Okay, yeah, for some reason it wanted to replace that. So I don't understand. I'm sure there's a great reason for it. I think I've heard of Bodyfly Healing. What is that? Is that a like a brand name? Is it a system? Is it a company? Not sure if I want them facing that way or facing. 180. There we go. Okay, let's turn these guys back on. There you go. And let's... Actually, put it at the joint. That's very helpful. Okay. So now I should be able to...
Remember that podcast where they were saying that tears, when you cry, like it gets a lot of like
toxins
out? And I don't know if what the science is or whatever.
I'm allergic to the word toxins now, but yeah.
All that. But your cousin, she posted what different tears look like when they dry. But it also is like, well, tears probably dry differently depending on.
Yeah, there's all sorts of and whatever chemicals happen to be in your body at the time.
Yeah, but either way, it's like, oh, it's releasing. It's like, well.
So I think I need more.
Really releasing, or is it just running?
Yeah, I think what I'm seeing in crabs is that they don't just have one tube and then another long tube. They have an intermediate socket, kind of a ball joint, so they can bend them better. But either way, let's go ahead and put them up like this and just assume that I'll add another joint in there so that they can get full flexibility. They can stab bad guys out there. They can block their head hidey hole in there. And the other thing that we had posited was that they have the ability to shed armor on specific limbs. So if they want to do more gardening or fine work, they would have a skinnier. So I'll do another version of a limb that's all kind of the delicate one. Secret says it gets fun when it's up and running. My husband does things in different metals, which can also be sold. Sent me some pics. All right, check them out. That is quite a dandy meat hammer right there. I feel like if I was ever attacked by meat, that would be a fantastic way to get rid of it. To beat it back. Nice. Very pretty. Is that stainless steel? Okay, claw. Let me save this real quick. Let me split the mask points. This would be... something better to start with. Like a spiked gear. No. No. Guess that's best. Packing your skull collection. Got a cute little tiny bat skull. Oh, that's nice. Pretty cool. know if I've ever seen that one. Okay, I'm gonna, just as a test, I'm gonna try something real quick. I'm gonna do radial symmetry with 3. Oh. It probably needs to be on Y. That is not 3 at all. 3. Are you gonna do 3 now? Okay, good. There we go. When are you supposed to move in, Aletha? I didn't know it was soon enough to actually be packing.
Packing, you can never start too early.
Yeah, we actually got quite a skull collection just recently. We've got a cattle skull and a deer skull. Something else out there. Shane really wanted to find them when we were on our trip. And we found a couple. And then we got another one from a someone I know in Ellensburg. So one thing I'm trying to think of is what would a claw that could manipulate, like do gardening and fine details, but also have like a big armored piece to be a giant chunky claw for combat. I like the idea of a 3-sided claw just because it's less. It's a little more alien. I don't know of any crabs who have that. I feel like that kind of tweezer-ish approach could work pretty well because you'd have good strength near to the hinge, less strength out at the tip, but you'd be able to do fine detail with it. That's a scary looking dude. Oh wow. That's interesting. It's got those nubs on it that almost look like teeth. Oh, mutant crab. Nice. Huh. It's a display claw. I'm surprised I'm not seeing the variety I was expecting. Oh, what's going on here? Is that a translucent top shell? No, I think that's just the color shift there. That's definitely an interesting shape. Let's see. I'm gonna try different kinds of claws. I think that's probably too broad. Yeah, that's including birds. Yeah, but there's no difference. There's nothing to... maybe shellfish? But I'd be interested if insects have them too, like, you know, praying mantis has claws. Caitlin Mullins, thanks for the sub, Caitlin. Caitlin, yeah, Caitlin. It's probably Kate. I'm going to postulate that they're more delicate shell parts, or just kind of nubbly like this. Okay. Okay, you guys. Thanks for joining me on this Sleepy Loopy cast. I bet next time we can pretty much finish this guy. That'll be nice. Make an illustration, stick it in the book, stick a fork in it, dip it in some garlic butter. It'll be great. This guy. Yeah, so good night, Kinzo. Good night, Van Morta, Aletha 76, and anyone else who's hanging out. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. If not sooner, I don't know. We'll see. I got all next week off, so I may do one of those things where I'm just, if I'm puttering around doing something that might be interesting, I might as well stream it, right? So, yeah. Look forward to maybe that. Or maybe look forward to that. It's up to you. You can pick one of those. See you guys later. Bye.